What's going on, y'all? All right. I'm sure just like me, you've been watching, some prepping sites today. A lot going on, a lot we got to expect here. Thank goodness, down here in Florida, it's not going to get down this far, but we're going to go over some of the things that you folks in other places need to really make sure you have ready to go this weekend. But first, let's see who's with us. Looks like Grammy C dropped in, but she had to go. She's getting ready for the mess that's coming down. There's that pretty girl right there, Grit and Grace. Go over and check that channel out, y'all. She's got a lot of great stuff over there. Debbie Jones is with us. Yep. Help everybody that's facing this storm. Wanda Landry is here. Come on down. JS is with us. Yeah. Drive-by thumbs up. Doing winter stuff. So, hey, I understand that, brother. I truly do. Buzz Runner's with us. The man. Right there. Who else we got in the house? David Sterner's here. All right. Uneventful weekend. Yeah, we all hope it's uneventful for those folks up there. There's Tammy Joe and Rural 2IC. That's another channel you got to go check out. Every day he's got something good for you. Yeah, he does. Lynn Stalker's in the house. There she is in Ocala. So, like us, you're safe from the ice, but we got to try to help out those folks a little north of us there. Looks like Mikey and Bill's with us. They just did a live stream going over a lot of this stuff. I'm sure they hit on some things that I probably won't. So go back and catch that live stream. Watch it on the replay. Got to be some good stuff in there because that's good folks. So check that channel out too. Craig is with us. He's back in Florida. Yep. Did you bring your stuff with you from Carolina? Yeah, hope not. Carrie, all right, from the great state of Washington. There we go. Do we give Buzz a shout out? Buzz Runner's in the house. All right, come on down. The Saints with us, my man right there. Yeah. And J1. Who else we got here? Old Man Survival is in St. Cloud.
He just said preparing for a winter storm is like pre-hurricane season check.
Exactly. This is going to be just like what we do for a hurricane, other than the heating components I'm going to bring up. So it'll give us all, hopefully all of us will learn a little bit here. If y'all have suggestions, pop them in there. All right. Pop them in the comments. If you got a channel, put a link in the comments there. I'd love to see that from you guys. David T4 is with us. And the Metal Man is here. Yeah, there we go. CC's back in the house. And the Raider. Hey, it's coming at you, buddy. Coming at you fast. Supposed to hit you guys in the morning, I think. I think Texas and Oklahoma is going to get probably the worst of this thing, but we'll see. As far as the ice goes. There's a man right there that lives where it's cold all the time. Yeah, Hill Bill's with us. Patriot Ordnance is in the house. Who else we got down here? RB 1927. Thank you so much. And there's Husky Mama. She's sick. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's say a prayer for her, guys. She'll be watching later, so let's let her know that we actually hope she gets to feeling better.
Somebody new right under her.
Yeah, ADRBT. All right. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it very much. Saw you over on Celebrating Farm Life, so I'm sure you came over here. Appreciate it so much.
And there's someone right below Celebrating
Farm
Life.
Yeah. Jim, that Dragger, Jim Dragger. All right. Thank you so much for being with us. And that's the only two we don't have wrenches for. But I'm going to tell you how to get a wrench, guys. Come back 2 more times. Come back, catch 2 more live streams. On that third one, you get a wrench. And we'd love to have you back, that's for sure. Yeah. But before we get into all the prepping stuff, something here I want to talk about. Something that really kind of ticked me off.
Uh-oh.
About this crap going on in Minnesota. And that's when those communists invaded the church the other day. Thank goodness there has been arrest made in this case. I don't know if it's going to do any good or not. The way the legal system is right now with all activist judges, I know the judge that they went to get charges against these people, these same people, they wouldn't sign a warrant for Don Lemon. That's big news, I guess. They didn't want him arrested because he's one of the faces of their cause. But when these people start invading conservatives or Christians in their houses of worship, it's getting out of hand. Getting out of hand. They're going to push it too far. You don't want to do that. Hopefully, I hadn't seen a lot about this, riots going on up there and stuff today. So hopefully they're trying to back down a little bit, but we have to keep our eyes on it. But this right here just went too far. This is ridiculous. These people need to be tried, prosecuted, and put in jail. It's that simple. You don't get between a congregation, their pastor, and the Almighty. And there were children in that congregation that were scared to death. And that's way out of bounds. Way out of bounds. I'd like to see them try that here in Florida or Texas.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Okay. Georgia, Alabama. Parts of Tennessee won't float. Yeah, they'll walk in, but they might not walk out. I'm not saying that's what should happen, but I'm saying it could happen. It's that simple.
Got another new person, JD Prepping.
JD Prepping. All right, I can't pronounce it. I speak in Southernese. I'm sorry.
Prepping Erie.
So, okay. JD Prepping Erie. Okay.
Maybe.
Might be in Ohio, I guess. So, all right. But thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate it very much. But like I said, if you got any tips, drop them in the comments here for everybody to see. Yeah, try it here in Florida would be very funny. It wouldn't be funny, but it would be fun to watch because it would only happen once. Guarantee you, only once. What I love about our governor is, all of this stuff that they're pulling everywhere else with these protests and blocking the streets and all that. Well, down here, if they do that, if they block you down here on a protest, just go on through. Just go on. You got every legal right to do it. That would be great to see on YouTube as well. That would stop some of it if they had that same law in other places. But all right, that's enough of that. Let me go on with what we're here for tonight, and that's for the folks up around North Georgia, northern Alabama, up in there, Tennessee, and points north. Got the bad weather coming, they say, but we don't know because this is what the weather map looks like. I mean, it looks like a 4-year-old took a box of crayons and decided to color the United States with it. They keep moving the lines on where the snow is, where the ice is, or whatever. But that's about what it looks like. I got a link down below to Ryan Hall, y'all.
He's awesome.
Check him out. He's on top of all of this weather stuff. No matter what it is. He's been on, I know, for hours today. I've been watching him.
He'll be on for all through it.
Yeah, he says he's going to be there through, all of this mess. So drop in there and check that channel out. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. And if you would, just let him know you dropped in, because I sent you over there. That would be good. But let's get into it. Let's get into what you need to do if you're in one of these areas. It's going to have this freezing weather. Now, here's the thing right here. You can see right here's the map that I downloaded about an hour and a half ago. What's in the pink is where the ice storms are going to be.
Oh, my gosh.
That's the most dangerous part. And you can see my folks in Tennessee there, We're right where we've always been, right on the border there. It could turn into snow or it could just be ice. But it's going to be one. But what you need to look out for is what you see right behind me right here. When the power lines start icing up in your area, you can bet you're going to lose your power. It's that simple. But before you start worrying about that, there's one thing you absolutely have to do. Because even after this front rolls through, the weather's going to be brutally cold. Bring them pets in, guys. All right, just putting them in your garage and thinking, with a blanket to sleep on, thinking that's enough with, a water bowl and a food bowl. It's not enough. All right, if it gets better cold like they're talking about, bring them in the house. All right, you need to make arrangements now to take care of that. Now, we know when there's snow, if it is snow, they're talking about, 6 to 8 inches up in the northern, up in Kentucky and up in that area north of that. But you have to make arrangements to make sure your pet is warm. And when they have to go outside, you have to take them outside so there won't be a mess in the house. That's vital. For me, it's really important. I mean, I couldn't imagine leaving Tucker outside if it was 0 degrees. He might come in here and bite me in the ass, to be honest. That's just the way he is. But that line, let me put that back up there. You can see that ice line and the snow line. It runs like almost right across the northern Tennessee border. But that's changing, it seems like, by the hour. So just keep your eyes on what's going on and make sure you're ready. We're going to get into that here in just a minute. What we got here, Atlanta will be crazy. I have 2 sons that live there, Marietta and Smyrna. Marietta is a nice town. I've never been to Smyrna, Georgia. Been through there. But it's they are supposed to get ice, that's for sure. But now let's get into it. Let's get into the basics here. Of course, you all have, I'm sure you all have food and water. If you're in those areas that's going to freeze, going to get that frigid weather after this front goes through, make sure you got, enough water to, fix your food that you're going to prepare. If you are iced in, okay, you don't want to get out traveling around. We're going to get into that in just a minute. But if you are, winter bound, I know you have the food. I'm pretty sure you have that heat and eat ready to go food. Make sure you have enough water to heat up those dehydrateds, cook those dehydrateds that you have to, to brush your teeth or to, just take a quick bath. What we used to call back in the day, tits and pits and vital bits. Make sure you got enough water to take care of that. It's hard to store water. I know that. So you need to make that determination yourself as to what you think you would need. If you were locked in, you had no power for like 3 or 4 days. So think about that, guys. Take care of that tomorrow if you can. Like I said, I know Texas, Oklahoma, and parts of Arkansas are supposed to get this tomorrow. But if you're over, east of that, Tennessee, northern Georgia, northern Mississippi.
Most of the Carolinas.
Yeah, the Carolinas are going to get hit hard, but you have plenty of time now to get ready. I know my buddy NC Prepper is ready. He posted some pictures today on social media. He's ready to go, and that's the way it should be.
This is a neat tip. Use spray bottles with water to do dishes.
Spray bottles of water to do dishes. There we go, right there.
Yeah, because it uses them very minimal.
Don't they make a spray soap?
Yeah, like
Dawn.
Yeah, like we use camping.
Yeah, when we go camping.
Power stuff.
Yeah, we got I think it's called Dawn Power. You just spray it on your dish, rub it down, and then if you got a spray bottle full of water, you can just spray that and rinse it off.
Good tip.
That's a great idea. Thank you so much. Appreciate it very much, JD. What we got here? Tucker, wait until the last minute. Yeah, exactly. Oh, thanks for the shout out. Yes, sir, buddy. You're on top of it. That's another channel you need to go check out, folks. he's not doing a lot of videos. He has videos from the past that have some great information on it. But every now and then he's dropping a video you want to check out. He's got some great stuff over there. So go over and check that channel out. What we got here, don't park under a tree. Lubricate your door seals. That's right, with silicone. If you're up there where it's going to get really cold, those doors will freeze, guys. So make sure you take care of that. But I'm going to touch on a couple of things here that if you're in that area where it's going to hit on Saturday, Friday night, Saturday into Sunday, you still got time to get out and do some of these things. Make sure you have a heat off-grid heat source. You know, right here, these buddy heaters. You can find these in sporting goods stores. A lot of them stock those for hunters. You can find them in hardware stores, the bigger ones like Home Depot or Lowe's. Or
I'm late for tomorrow, but they sell them on Amazon.
yeah, well,
So
Amazon,
like
of course, you can get them on Amazon,
Yeah.
but I don't think you're going to be able to get them delivered in time.
Yeah.
But this shows you how they work. The buddy heaters, that's the only ones I'm going to recommend to you because that's the only ones I've ever used, and I know they're indoor safe. We have the one in the middle there. We use that in our camper. When we had to use it, it took it about 20 minutes to heat up our camper. We got a 6x10 camper, conversion camper
I
that
was
we,
kicking blankets off.
but hey, it took it about 20 minutes. Nope, got to turn it off. It got hot really quick.
Yeah.
So, you know, even that little buddy right there, the 100 square foot one, I had that one and gave it to her son because he likes to camp occasionally too, and that works great. So if you don't have an off-grid heat source, go to Cabela's or Bass Pro Shop or Home Depot, Lowe's. Get you one of these tomorrow. Get you at least 5 1-pound propane tanks to heat it with. The 250 square foot one there, that's the one we have. I know it will run about 6 hours on high on a 1-pound tank. We never had to use it on high because it worked so well. But on low, no, on high it was 3 hours. That's right. It was about 3 hours. On low, it was about 6 hours. But this will heat a good size area for you guys. You know, 100 square feet right there, 10 by 10 room. And when you're in, survival mode, you don't have heat. You know, this is what you're going to get into a small space. This will heat it for you.
Bill said if you run it off of a barbecue tank, get the inline filter.
Exactly. That's exactly right. If you run it off one of those 20-pound tanks, I don't know how long it will run on one because I've never had ours hooked up to one. I'm sure it's a long time. But they make filters you have to put in the line because those big tanks, they have some kind of additive in them that the small tanks don't have. So make sure if you're going to use a big tank, which would be a good idea, just make sure you use that filter. It would be great to be able to turn that on whenever you wanted to, right? Just let it run. But I guarantee you, if you're in a room the size of this one, 10 feet by 10 feet, you ain't going to have it on long. I promise you. I don't care if it's 0 degrees outside.
Yeah, that's the trick. Shut off one room to be warm in.
Yep. Just make sure you shut off a small space. That's where you concentrate your efforts. And you'll be fine with either one of those heaters. But, you know, that's your heat source. Now, that food you're going to have, that heat and eat food you're going to have, you know, get you a little gas one burner. I don't have a picture of one here, but you can look it up on Amazon. They also sell those in sporting goods stores. I don't think they would sell them in hardware stores like I said, Home Depot or Lowe's, but they do in sporting goods stores. It's just a little single burner, runs off propane or butane. Get you one of those, and they work great. They'll heat your food fast. Now the heaters that I showed you, they're safe to use indoors. they're rated to use indoors safe, but the little burners are not. If you do have to use one of those, set it on a table near a window and crack that window, about 6 or 8 inches while you're heating that food up so it'll ventilate and go outside. You won't have to worry about it because you're not going to use it that long anyway. If you're heating up, a can of soup or you're boiling water for dehydrated, you're not going to have it on that long anyway. But get you one of those little single burner cookers. Or if you got, some of you might already have like a Coleman double burner. That's perfect. But make sure you ventilate it. You have to ventilate those, folks. They're not safe to use indoors. What you
Do
got?
gas lines going to homes freeze?
Gas lines, I've never heard of a gas line freezing. It might, but I've never heard of it. Now we know that your water pipes might freeze. That's why I'm telling you to store water. Just make sure you leave it, they say leave it dripping. No, you need a little small stream running through that faucet all night. A drip is not going to do it. I've lived it. I know it. A drip's not enough. Just turn your faucets on, bathroom faucets, kitchen faucets. Let it just run a small stream, a constant stream. And that way it won't freeze. But that's why I suggested that you store up some water just in case those pipes do freeze, because we're talking frigid temperatures here for days after this front rolls through.
Bill did say that minus 40 gas lines will start to freeze up.
Minus 40 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now we know.
Yeah.
At minus 40, hey, if it gets that cold, it's time to hunker down and you might want to start burning the furniture.
You talked about the tent, right?
Not yet.
Oh, James mentioned the tent.
Yeah. Yeah, that Mr. Buddy heater is the best for sure. And like I said, I know that it's safe. Now, like you said, James mentioned it. Get you a little tent, a little 4-man or a 2-man tent, and set it up in that room, that one room. If it's down, like it was in Texas in 2020, or up in Buffalo in 2022, where the power's out, your heat's out for days on end, get you a little tent. You still got time to go out and get these things. I'm recommending, folks. But you set it up in that room. When you and 2 or 3 other people get in there and sleep, or one other person, you got that body heat inside that tent. You've trapped it in there, and it stays warm longer. Gets warm quicker. You also might want to consider getting sleeping bags. Now, I know we all have extra blankets. We have coats. We have, long johns or sweatpants or whatever. But when you're sleeping, get you a sleeping bag that holds your body heat better than just being under a blanket.
James said that propane's already sold out in their area.
Oh, wow. I know the Carolinas, North Carolina's going to get hit hard.
We're all trying to help CC7633 that said if she gets too cold, to go out in the car. We've established it's not in a garage, and someone else said to make sure the exhaust pipe isn't clogged with the snow. Anything else to add?
All right, yeah, we're going to get into that in just a minute.
Okay.
But thank you for bringing it up. That's exactly right. But we're going to get into that in a minute. Now
we're ahead of them.
Yeah, we're going to get into your power sources now. If you have a generator, it runs off propane or gasoline, you got to have extra. If you have a solar power unit, plug it in right now. Plug it in your AC outlet, get it up to 100%, and leave it plugged in until the lights go out. That's what you want to do, because you want it 100% when the lights go out. That'll give you plenty of power to charge your cell phone, which you can watch news and weather updates on. Give you plenty of power for light for days. If you know how many watts you have in that power pack and how many watts your components are burning, while you have them plugged into that power pack. That's vital. You have to know those things, folks. Absolutely. But make sure you have a good solar panel to charge them with. Because if the lights go out for, 3 or 4 days, you're going to have that solar charging, no doubt, because you will run that solar box down, and you only want to get it, depending on the battery in it, you only want to run it down to at the most 30%. You want to have 30% left in that unit, and then when you get to that point, you got to charge it, or you'll damage the battery, because most of them have good lithium batteries in them now, and they can take that discharge down to 30% and recharge without damaging the battery. So remember that 30% is your cutoff point on your solar power packs if they have lithium batteries in them. All right, make sure you have extra batteries for any light, flashlights, or lanterns that you have. And if you're using candles, it's vital. Have a fire extinguisher. Have it right by you. Candles are good because they give off light and they give off heat. And if you're in a concealed space, like what I was talking about, this room, it's not going to heat it up to where it's comfortable, but it will keep you from freezing to death. A lot of people don't realize that. What you got?
Well, a couple things. And this might be a northern thing, and because I'm a Florida girl, I don't know what this is. When you fill your tank gas up, put a can of heat in it so you can and you can get it at the gas station.
Yes, when you get into those northern parts where it's going to be really frigid, get you a can of heat. It's called heat. It goes right into your tank.
Oh, okay.
And it keeps your fuel line from freezing, and it will do that. Believe me.
The other thing was a union suit is a great thing, and is that like a jumpsuit?
Union suit? Never heard of that.
Tamara said union suits, and I'm not sure what that is.
Union suits are great. What is that?
Yeah, fill us in, Tamara. What is that?
That's a term we don't use down here. So
it sounds like it's some kind of a jumpsuit.
Let me know. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, there's another one that'll help gas line. Yeah, there you go. But these are things you need to be doing tomorrow if you haven't done them already. And I don't think there's anything here that I've suggested that you can't do. Okay. And when it comes to the bedding, we were talking about the tent earlier and the sleeping bag and the blankets, just make sure you got plenty of them. Your light sources, like I said, you guys, I'm sure you've seen a link or seen the video on my channel converting a regular 110 lamp into a 12-volt lamp. But if you don't already have 12-volt light sources, you need to get you some, because it's easy just to pop them into that solar power unit and you got light, and hey, that's fantastic. I should have put a link in the description to that video. I didn't. Go look it up. A 12-volt lamp conversion, I think is the title. But that lamp, just that psychological, just looking at that lamp that looks normal. If you're on day 2 or 3 of a grid down situation, just the psychological effect that you don't realize, it helps you out. Just seeing that lamp that looks normal, that will help you out.
So union suit is long johns.
Long johns. Okay. Yep. We know what those are. Yeah. All right.
Body flap in the back. Yeah, you don't want to take
button down, rock and roll. Yeah. All right.
I want a red one.
But these are things that you should already, if you've been prepping for a while, you should have them. If you don't, like I said, you can go get them tomorrow at local retailers near you. Walmart, Target carries the heaters. I've seen it, and the 1-pound propane tanks, if they're not sold out. That's the thing.
Chances are they probably are.
But if you don't have them, at least take a chance and go check it out. Now, before we go into your vehicle, we're going to get into your comms. Make sure that you have your radios, your weather radio, your shortwave portable radio, all charged up, ready to go. So you can just turn it on and bam, you can turn it over to the weather channel and hear what's going on. You can scan those channels, shortwave channels, see what's happening in your area. Also, if you have a ham radio, if you have handheld ham radio or a GMRS radio, make sure they're charged up. Make sure they got fresh batteries in them. Whatever it takes to have them operating. for, 3 or 4 days. And that's a good thing about those radios. You can turn them on and off. You don't have to listen to them constantly. So you're not burning that power constantly. But you do need to turn them on occasionally, make sure, especially the weather radio, to see what's going on. Because these temperatures are supposed to be really brutal coming in.
It's like James said, lights, hot food, and news are good for morale after a few days with no power. You
Right
know
there.
what's going on out there.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got to know what's happening. Put a good hot meal in your stomach. Hey, as long as you got lights, you can read. If you're set up good enough, I'm not bragging, seriously, but I have a 12-volt TV that I can plug into my solar power unit with a little portable digital antenna I can stick on the window inside, and I can watch the local news or General Hospital.
When we first got together, it was a bad hurricane and he was still working. He had to go back to work and he made sure that I had that little TV working on General Hospital.
I came home. I was on 24-hour duty. I came home, make sure she could watch
my TV was
General Hospital. So.
Hey, I have my priorities.
And you talk about a pissed off cat. Yesterday, when Donald Trump preempted General Hospital, this woman was livid.
Well, everybody was, because it was a cliffhanger of 10 years. It was like the biggest thing to happen on that stupid show in 10 years. And Donald Trump was talking about his childhood and, oh my Lord. That's all right. We got through it. It's okay.
But right here, Mikey, Mikey's got it here too. Board games, card games, good books. You got to have those distractions. You got to. If you're in, 2 or 3, 4 days, no power. Yeah, you got to have those things, guys. Nick L made it. What's up, buddy? All right. But hey, you got to have those things. Throat. Ooh.
You made David laugh. He's laughing at me. It was serious.
But hey, we're talking there. The National Weather Service is saying people are going to be without power for days. So I don't know if it's just another scare thing or it's actually going to happen, but you need to be ready either way. Like I said, this is just like us preparing for a hurricane, other than the heating components. All of these things that you need. It's that simple. But now we're going to get into your car. Hopefully you won't have to travel. But if you do, make sure you have a good get home bag in there, or supplies with water, food that you can eat in the car that you don't have to prepare. Get you some cat litter, just in case you get out and get stuck in the snow or somewhere. It won't do you any good on ice. Don't get out and try to drive on ice. It's that simple. But make sure you got a good warm coat in there. Maybe an extra change of clothes, just in case. But here's something that I ran across. I researched it today. Right here, AutoZone has these little 150 watt, 12-volt heaters with a fan on them. You can plug them right into your cigarette lighter jack. That'll keep your car warm if you're stuck in the snow somewhere. Of course, like she said earlier, make sure the tailpipe's cleared. If you're going to run the car, make sure that tailpipe's cleared. You don't want that carbon dioxide coming back in the car on you. But hey, run by AutoZone tomorrow. Grab one of these, stick it in your car. You might not use it this time, but maybe next time. But these are the kind of preps you need to have on hand all the time, but especially in situations like we have coming at us. Well, I've run way over my 30 minutes. So
James said a flamethrower.
A flamethrower for the snow.
I've actually seen that on Facebook before.
There you go. That'll work. Get one of Elon's flamethrowers that he made. What we got here? Cleats. Walking on the ice. That's right. If you got them, wear them. Yeah. It's hard to walk on ice, guys. I haven't been in Florida my whole life. I lived in Nashville the majority of my life. I've been in situations like this. I know what it's like. I know what you have to do. That's why earlier when I showed that map and it showed Tennessee just like right on the border of the ice and snow, I've seen that so many times. One of the last things I did as a police officer, we had an ice storm. And on I-65, they had this massive crash. It was probably, 50, 60 cars, but it was snowing, freezing rain, sleet. And I'm standing out in that mess trying to clear it up. And I'm looking around at all this mess, and I'm this close to retirement. And I said, this will never happen again. So I know what it's like, guys. One more thing I'm going to drop on you before I get out of here. Those of you with shortwave radios, ham radios, or any radio that will get the FEMA frequency, here it is right here, 138.225 megahertz. If FEMA's working in your area, that is their primary channel on the radio. You'll be able to listen in, see what they're doing. I wouldn't recommend, if you have a ham radio, you can program on that channel, a transmitter, I should say. I wouldn't recommend talking on it unless it's an absolute emergency. But it would be good to listen in and see what they're doing in your area. You can see there are other frequencies there on the MERS frequencies they have there, which are pretty standard. But like I said, don't get on there and talk and interrupt unless it's an absolute emergency, which it might be. So I wanted to give you that before I got out of here, because it sounds like this thing could turn into a real mess and last for, 3 or 4 days. I hope not, but I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys for being with me and hanging around. You got anything over there, babe, before I get out?
No, I think we're good.
All right. Visit those channels, guys. Tamara made it. Thank you so much. Visit those channels that I recommended, because I guarantee you won't be sorry. But I'm going to ask you to do one more thing, folks, before I get out of here. There's lots of folks out in the street, lots of homeless folks, some of them's children. I'm going to ask you to pray for them, because we do. Absolutely. Please do that. So with that, I'm going to say stay strong, keep prepping, and pray for the United States. The Orlando Prepper is out.